Guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the pay to win account and we're looking at probably one of the most important things in AFK Arena, which is the Summoner's Tavern, but it is the wish list, guys. So there's an absolute amazing guide out there that we're going to cover tonight that is from in season, makes the wish list very, very easy and compact to understand on which heroes you should be building when it comes to the priority. So let's go ahead and we'll get into that wish list. So looking here, the following wish list is intended for free-to-play and PvE-orientated players. Again, this is not PvP specific when it comes to the heroes that you have on here. But when you look at version 1.64, since the introduction of Walker and it comes to the Lightbearers, he is really non-existent on here. A lot of players that have built him are super disappointed by exactly how inefficient he is. We were hoping for a late game, end game Lightbearer. Unfortunately, we did not see that. Ascend heroes from left to right, which is the priority starting with Rowan for the Lightbearers. Heroes with the portal icons are used for guild hunts and Twisted Realm. That is a very important note because a lot of the heroes, as we get through the factions, will be used for different guild hunts or Twisted Realms. So we're just going to go through this really quick. So looking at the Lightbearers, we have Rowan, Rose, Gwen, Hendrik, and Rain. All of those heroes are a really big priority. Astrilda comes in a solid 6th. Rain is used on guild bosses. We know Rose is used for a lot of the Twisted Realm. The only place that Astrilda does make an appearance is in Dark Namora to go ahead and buff, depending on who you're running, if you're still running Shamira or if you're running with Moriel. And the rest of the heroes really filling out the wish list is based on the necessity when it comes to the Lightbearer Tower, because you do have to have 5 solid heroes in there. As you can see, one of the big heroes not present here is Lucius. Lucius is a Lightbearer tank that falls off very, very hard when you start making progression, and especially when you look at the survivability of Hendrik and the skill set itself, he is a much stronger priority to build versus building Lucius out of here. Same with Belinda. Belinda is a hero that we're not going to see in wish list unless you already have these heroes that ascended, trying to add more ascended heroes. Looking at the next, the Maulers, we have Titus, we have Kren, Skarath, we have Scrag and Nemitsu, which is the only support in there, but this is your key 5 out of there. Since we've seen Sophia, or since there's been more Maulers, Sophia has actually dropped off considerably. When it comes to the 5 pull, she's not even utilized anymore. We've actually swapped out a couple different heroes. So she isn't really utilized anywhere anymore. They have slowly just kind of phased her out over time. Titus is one of the strongest crowd controls for the Maulers. Absolutely a necessity when it comes to the towers. Does really strong in the campaign because he has damage mitigation. Kren fully built will do exceptional damage again in the Mauler tower as well as the campaign, but does need a formation to kind of fall back on. Skarath we use in the 5 pull, which is a necessity. You have to have him with that 3 of 9 furniture. Scrag for the Scrag invade teams. He is a monster. If he can get on the enemy side, he will do very, very well. Boosts attack rating, has damage mitigation, has energy regeneration. Very, very strong. Then, of course, Nemitsu, again, is the big one for Mauler support. Brutus is utilized quite a bit as you do get late game, just for the immunity shield that he pops. On Tandro, we've actually seen a presence lately in the Twisted Realm, but she is similar, and a lot of people compare her to the Mauler form of Isolde. If you can get her to buff, if you get her plus 30 signature item, doesn't make that big of a difference, but the 9 of 9 furniture does make a really big difference when it comes to her survivability. Inoki, I haven't found a place for yet, but Drez we utilize in the Abyssal Expedition with the ability to shield himself to mitigate damage, makes Drez a absolute necessity when it comes to the Abyssal Expedition. For the Wilders, nobody can say short of anything and amazing, absolutely how amazing they are within AFK Arena. So we have Iran, which of course we have the crowd control, you have the slow, you have the damage. Raku has been used in late game, end game formations. Very, very powerful, especially with Arthur's buff. But in addition, he's been used in the Twisted Realm, which is good as well. Tassie is the queen of CC. Leica, of course, the energy and the haste buff. Then, of course, Saurus is a super strong boss killer. When it comes to the guild bosses, he is still the priority in all the formations, making sure you have him built, especially because of his utilization outside of the guild bosses, used in the Trial of God, used in a bunch of different other avenues of AFK Arena, including the Abyssal Expedition. Pippa is a hero I think a lot of players underestimate just because she was passed over. With so many heroes coming out so fast, a lot of these heroes have just been they've just been kind of passed over because we got Respin and then we got Pippa, then we got Respin, then we got Raku. During that time, we got Peggy. We got a lot of heroes in a very short amount of time. With her crowd control, Pippa can do a considerable amount of crowd control. If she's in formations with Tassie, she can also do sleep because she'll prioritize Tassie's ability to mirror it, making her very, very strong. Gorvo, very strong with the shields. Namora does really good with the 9 of 9 with the Beguile ability. They kind of cheese tank, especially late game, end game. Respin does a considerable amount of damage, brings a good haste buff. Then, of course, Loresden with the linking, especially if you're using the Thorn Cheese. Down here, we look at the Graveborn. We have Daemon. Daemon is the biggest priority to build, guys, especially as a carry through AFK Arena. Daemon will do exceptionally well. The stronger you build him, the better he will perform. Does only need a plus 20 signature item, plus 30 signature item. Does help as you continue to progress him. But in addition, his furniture will help him leaps and bounds. 3 of 9 is definitely required when you're utilizing Daemon. Oden is a hero since the rework has just really, really shined. Honestly, Oden is probably one of the strongest heroes now in AFK Arena, especially when you get his signature item and his furniture bonuses. Because over time, if you get him to scale, he does more and more damage, and he does it faster and faster because of the haste buff. We have the original OG of Pharrell, been in AFK Arena, I believe, since the start. Still making strong presence in formation, still one of the biggest priorities when it comes to the Graveborn because of the spirits and crowd control that he brings. Has spirits with big energy disintegration, then of course a lot of crowd control. Isolde has been utilized in the Grotesque Mage, the Twisted Realm boss. Drops off late game, end game. You can't really get the survivability when you start getting high level deficiencies. There's a lot of other choices, but this is only focusing on the primary 4 factions, not worried about the Celestials or the Hypogeans. So definitely building him out there, which questionable if I would swap Isolde for Grez, just because they both work very well and they are somewhat interchangeable, except Grez sees a much higher utilization when it comes to the Twisted Realm. So I would possibly even look at building Grez before Isolde. Again, when you're looking at the grand scheme of things, Grez is going to be used a lot more than the single boss that you need Isolde in. But even in the boss that you need Isolde, Grez is the off tank or the tank in that formation that you utilize with Isolde. So if you can merc one or the other, definitely great. Silas with the plus 30 signature item brings a 20% attack boost if you're over 50% health. Makes a very, very big difference with the amount of damage that a team is going up or staying up and doing the damage they're doing. In addition, he does a considerable amount of healing over the entire battle. Nara is really good with the crowd control because you can put her on one hero. She has kind of slid down the list, I'd say down the tier list a little bit, just because again of the amount of heroes that we've been getting. And we have a lot of other heroes now that provide the crowd control aspect that she was always known for. Number 9, we have Desira. Desira, again, a little bit further down the list, due to the fact that with her Oceanic Mist, it is a very slow heal to cover the battlefield, and it does trail off. If the Oceanic Mist actually came out faster or came out stronger, it does take a considerable amount of time to get to the front line, especially if your heroes are on the enemy side. It's going to take a long time for that heal to get out there and really be effective when it comes to combat. Kelthar as a hero does absolutely amazing in the Graveborn Tower. When you look at the entirety of the Graveborns, they are very, very strong overall. When this guide came out, Desira was the new hero. And again, we have Walker since then, which isn't utilized anywhere. Even looking in the bottom, Labyrinth priorities, I love that this was included. And again, a big shout out to In Season, to CX Ensign, the Faith in Crensville for the guides. I absolutely love it. I really feel like the more information that we put out there, the better, really equipping you with how you should be building heroes and what kind of is the priority. So looking on the left, the Labyrinth, Arthur, definitely the biggest priority. Once you finish Arthur, go ahead and start buying those emblems of space. You are going to use them for the heroes that are coming out and the heroes that are already here. You will never have enough of them. And it is a good offset for using red chests. So you can save your red chest for some of the rare heroes where you can use the emblems of space for heroes like Arthur. Then you have Wukong. And then when Wukong is done at 5 stars, it turns into the Twisted Tree Juice, which again is the priority. Then after you've already bought your emblems or Arthur or Wukong, then it is all in red chest, nothing else in the Labyrinth. Stargazing, Lucretia, I've said it before, is the priority. You want the twins up, which is an extra note, as you can see there to the right. After 10 ascended a choice summons, resources can be allocated to EXP, red emblems, pull coins, or Stargazing. Obtain these heroes as needed from events. My priority is really building the twins up to Mythic just for the sake of the Twisted Realm and making progression in there. Then absolutely, once the twins are up to a certain point, or at least you have the twins if you're early game, absolutely Stargazing for Lucretia, and then Alna after that. Third one, I'm not really sold on Mahira. I do use her for quite a bit, but I've swapped out Khazard. I've went with a couple different formations. So for the Stargazer, I would definitely do Lucretia, and Alna would be my first choice. Third choice, again, kind of up in the air on who you're looking to build. We have a lot of very, very solid heroes in there. Pick up a couple copies of Mortis. Mortis doesn't have to be built like the twins do for survivability. Then on the challenger side, Aziz, guys. Aziz, biggest priority by far. You want to build him above any other hero. He's really unique in his ability to lock out ultimate abilities, as well as an energy battery and a attack rating reduction with his burning ground. Very, very powerful. Zolrath is another hero out of the challenger store I would agree with. He is very unique in his abilities. There's no hero that does quite what he does, especially with his time warp. And then if you do lose the battle, it comes back stronger. Plus, he is very viable in PvP, as well as Athalia. If you guys have fought Athalia within the campaign, very, very tough to deal with Athalia. There's only a couple heroes that can really do it successfully, especially if you have her signature item and her furniture built out because of the bleed effect that she brings. Then again, our extra note, attain these from the AE, the Twisted Realm. They're needed in the Abyssal Expedition. The twins have an unparalleled utility when it comes to AFK Arena. That is why I would absolutely build them first, then go straight into Lucretia and Alna when it comes to the Stargazer. So guys, again, big shout out to In Season. I absolutely love the wish list. It is a perfect way to start your AFK Arena account. Sticking with the heroes that you see in here, it makes a really big difference when it comes to progression and how fast you're going to get through there. So again, guys, big shout out to In Season and also to Reddit. Wanted to bring the guide out there. I absolutely love covering them because the more knowledge you have, the better you can perform in AFK Arena. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.